Hello and welcome to Sports Today's Morning News Wrap. I'm Siddharth Gulati and I'm going to bring you all the latest updates that made the headlines on different newspapers and on various digital platforms. So, as always, as it has been a usual drill, let's just begin with some cricket news. And obviously, it's some great news for the Punjab Kings fans because their team has gotten off to a winning start in the 2025 edition of the Indian Premier League. It was a close win though, but then a win is a win, and that's what the Shreyas Iyer led PBKS team got off to in the 18th edition of the IPL here. Well, batting first, Punjab Kings scored a massive 240 odd, and it was courtesy Shreyas Iyer's blistering 97 and some late hitting by Shashank Singh towards the end that made sure that Punjab Kings got to an above par total at the iconic Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. In response, Gujarat Titans at one stage they were going very strong, and until the end of the 16th over, it did look like that Gujarat Titans might just finish on a winning note here. But then it wasn't really to be the case because Punjab Kings bowlers, specifically Vijay Kumar Vishal, the impact there, and Arshdeep Singh, they kept their line and lengths very tight. They delivered those Yorkers very well, and as a result, Punjab Kings held their nerve and they got off to a winning start. And as far as the reactions of that particular match are concerned, African Awesome, I'll just come to you in a few seconds. And as far as the reactions of that particular match are concerned, I think it's obviously Shreyas Iyer who drew a lot of praises, not just from his team, but from the experts also. In case of Shashank Singh, he clearly mentioned that Shreyas Iyer went up to him and told him that don't worry about my 100, just try to hit each and every ball for a 4 or a 6. And that towards the end did make a lot of difference because the margin of the victory of for PBKS was very small. And from that perspective, 23 runs coming of the last over of Mohammad Siraj, courtesy Shashank Singh, that did prove to be a massive difference for Punjab Kings there. So he obviously, Shreyas Iyer, drew a lot of praises from Shashank Singh and also from the former India captain Saurav Ganguly, who said that Shreyas Iyer is now ready to represent India across formats. He should be recalled to the Indian cricket team for in Test cricket and in T20I cricket too. And at the current way he's going about his work, it's going to be very difficult for the selectors to keep him out of contention for any of the remaining two formats too. So that's about it as far as the reaction from the Punjab Kings side and the experts' side is are concerned. There was also a few things that Shubman Gill, the Gujarat Titans captain, said about his team. He said that they weren't really good in the field. Gill was specifically disappointed with the fielding of Gujarat Titans. He also said that they left things a little too late. That in the middle overs when Sharfane Rutherford and Joss Butler were batting. There were 3 overs in which Sharfane Rutherford played out a lot of dots, and that did prove to be a major difference in the final result of the game between PBKS and GT. And overall, in case of Shubman Gill, he was still very happy with the way things went, but then he wants his team to improve their fielding, and at the very same time their death bowling, wherein they conceded about 120 odd runs in the last 6 to 7 overs or so. So that's about it as far as the GT versus PBKS match is concerned. Today it's going to be Rajasthan Royals and Kolkata Knight Riders. A must-win game for both the teams, and why we say it's going to be a must-win game because both the teams didn't really get off to a fine start in their respective opening encounters. Rajasthan Royals, they lost to Sunrisers Hyderabad, while Kolkata Knight Riders, the reigning champions, they were defeated by Royal Challengers Bengaluru in the tournament opener. So from that perspective, an important game for both the teams because out of the first two games, a win and a loss always looks good rather than two losses in a row. So that's one thing that the two teams would have their eyes set on. So this is where they would want to get off to they would want to rebuild and at the very same time get that much needed win. So this is pretty much in case of the IPL. Now moving shifting our focus to some more cricket news here. Tamim Iqbal's condition after suffering a heart attack is pretty normal now. He has been advised 48 to 72 hours of rest, and if he survives that period very well, then it's going to be fine for him. He might just be discharged from the hospital, and that's some great news for the Tamim Iqbal fans here. Some football news as far as the AFC Asian Cup qualifiers are concerned. Well, India played out a nil-nil draw against Bangladesh in their opening game of the AFC Asian Cup qualifiers. Well, there were many chances that the Indian football team created, but then they weren't really able to convert them, and as a result, they had to play out a nil-nil stalemate against their Asian opposition here. Indian coach Marcus wasn't really happy with the team's performance. He said that it is very tough to see, the players not being at their very best. He literally lashed out at them after the nil-nil stalemate. But then India still have a few more games left, and they would want to make sure that they correct their performance there. Now let me just take a few comments here before we move on. Freaking awesome. Good morning, first of all. Everyone is blaming batters for the GT's loss, but none talked about how they bowled at the death. They gave away 93 runs in the last 31 overs. Absolutely, and I think this is one of the points that even I had mentioned in the previous night's discussion, that we can obviously blame Shafin Rutherford for his slow innings pretty much in the middle overs. He got those sixes and fours at the last, and that was one of the major reasons why GT could not really surpass PBKS's total. But then the major issue that Gujarat Titans had was in the first innings, wherein their bowlers leaked a lot of runs. And two, I think, somewhat to Gujarat Titans' defense also, you have to credit Punjab Kings because of the way Shreyas went about his work. That was exemplary. Sometimes even smashing those good balls out of the park is very tough for the opposition. So I think it was basically a mixture of two things: Shreyas batting well, and at the very same time Gujarat Titans did not trying too many new things, or maybe not trying those variations against Shreyas and Shashank Singh. That did prove to be the difference. Priyanshu is saying that 8 overs of Siraj and Prasidh Krishna in T20 won't let GT qualify. I think both of them are definitely not that effective towards the end, but I think Gujarat Titans might just benefit if they use both of them in the first few overs. I think it's just going to be about working on their line and lengths consistently, and if they can get that swing and extra bounce, I think Gujarat Titans might just be a force to reckon with. It's just one game. I think it's too early to make that big prediction that Siraj and Prasidh might not work for Gujarat Titans. I think before we even make that kind of a prediction, arguably, we need to maybe wait for the first few games here. So I think that's about it as far as some cricket news is concerned. I think we are also talking about, let's just more, talk about chess and cricket here, because Gukesh has spoken how he draws inspiration from Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He always has looked up to him. Dhoni's calm demeanor has been one of the major reasons why Gukesh has flourished as a sports person and a chess player. We might just do a story on it later, so stay tuned to Sports Today for it. And I think that's about it. Let's just see now what my favorite thing newspaper has to say. Australia will demolish Gabba after 2032 Olympics. So Brisbane will now have a new cricket ground. Gabba might just host one or maybe at max two more test matches in the next few seasons or so. Well, that remains to be seen what's going to be the case. But at least one thing is for sure, that there is going to be one Ashes test that will take place later this year in the season of 2025-26. Virat and Rohit might get the top billing despite T20I retirement. And when we talk about top billing, it's about the BCCI central contracts that despite not playing one format, both of them are set to be a part of the A plus category. Then India versus Bangladesh football. Paralympian Akash has won the 50-meter pistol event at the Khelo India Para Games. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Last comment I think we had from Frickin' Awesome. None is talking about Aaron Hardy either. They could have picked him in the place of Maxwell. I think that might just happen because Maxwell's inconsistency, if it goes on to hurt Punjab Kings, they won't really shy away from making that particular replacement. So let's see what happens. But still, one game, if Maxi scores in the next 4-5 games, then I don't really think it'll be his form will be a point of discussion. And also, I think Frickin' Awesome said that 199 is the highest recorded total in Guwahati. So yeah, let's see how things go for both RR and KKR. Who do you think will win this match? You can let us know your thoughts, your predictions in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today for all the exciting updates and analysis from the sporting world. Until then, it's Siddharth Gulati saying goodbye, and don't go anywhere because we'll be back very shortly with all the latest stories and updates, not just of the IPL but any other sport across the globe.